Hi, this is Carol Platt-Liebau, the president of Yankee Institute, and this is a Yankee Minute. Children in Connecticut haven't been to school since March. They've missed out on months of learning, sports, graduations, and friendships. Now, Connecticut's teachers' unions are trying to prevent our children from going back to school in September. They say it's not safe for teachers, unless taxpayers fork over more money, that is. Then somehow everything will be safe for teachers again. But what about our kids? Here's the truth. Teachers' unions don't care about your kids and whether or not they get a good education. They don't care that you can't go to work because you have to stay home because your kids can't go to school. But here's what the teachers' unions forget. Schools don't exist to serve the teachers' unions. They exist to educate our children, period. If we can't send our kids back to school in the fall, who does this hurt? It certainly doesn't hurt the rich parents in the suburbs where their children all have computers and iPads and everything they might need to go to online learning. No, it affects disadvantaged, low-income people in the cities who can't afford these things, don't have regular access to the internet, and have to work every day just to put food on the table. A recent report by the Department of Education showed that 29,000 kids didn't have reliable access to Wi-Fi in our state, and 50,000 didn't have access to a device so they could do online learning. And who did this affect? You guessed it, families living in the cities. Kids in urban school districts were 3 times more likely not to have access to these things so they could learn at home. And now teachers' unions want to keep schools closed longer? How does this solve the education gap? How does this solve inequality? How does this make our children's lives better? Grocery store clerks have braved the worst of the pandemic for a minimum wage. Perhaps it's not too much to ask our teachers to return to school to teach kids who are already struggling and need their help the most. If Connecticut's teachers' unions aren't willing to teach kids in poor communities, then those families need school choice. We need the ability to have our children placed in schools, whether public, private, or charter, who will step up and actually teach them. If teachers' unions have a choice, then we should too.